Bible says again in verse 14 and 139, it says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I want you to do me a favor. Touch yourself and say, I am a divine creation. I am a divine creation. This text allows us to see that it's so important that you acknowledge how God made you. Not only must we acknowledge how God made us, but we must acknowledge that we are marvelous because of Him. We are not just marvelous, but we must acknowledge that we are who we are and we have what we have because of God made us like this and He gave it to us. I want to talk to us this morning and tell us that it is important that flaws and all, we love how we have been made. Not only must we love how we have been made, but we must embrace how God made us. Many of us in this room can attest that through life and in life, we sometimes face the problem to love ourselves. We face the problem of trying our hardest to figure out what did God do when He created us. Why we don't look like this one, why we don't look like that one, why we don't have what everybody else have. We find ourselves challenging instead of embracing who we are. One thing I love about us that we must understand that no matter who you are, God gives you the ability to watch this, go back, revisit how He made you and make it excellent. He not only does that, but He acknowledges that even in most of us that there is something good inside of you. I tell myself many times that no matter where I am in my life, I may not like my ways. I may not like some of the things I say, some of the things I wear, but I am fearfully and wonderfully made, which means no matter what you take from me or add to me, I'm still that child of God. And many of us, we must understand that being that child of God, sometimes you're not always going to like yourself. That's right. Sometimes you're not always going to like what comes with being Pastor Coleman. Sometimes you're not going to always like what comes with being a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or just simply being a friend to people. But you have to remember this is who God made you to be. And sometimes I love this because when I was a kid, I used to always tell myself, ooh, I wish I had some other parents. But I had to realize I came with those parents. That's right. And sometimes in life, you don't like who you came into this world with. Sometimes you don't like the transitions that you are in with people, but you have to remember that no matter who the people are, that you can't change because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are made in the image and the likeness of our Father. So sometimes in life it seems as if we are going downhill. It seems as if this old body does not please us. I look in the mirror this morning, my tape line was a little off. I was supposed to be getting here, and I said, oh Lord, I need to go get some spray because I can't go out the house looking like this. And simply as that, I was able to go back and revisit that thing that God made and watch this and praise my self-worth. I was able to go back and embrace myself. And many people, what we fall down by the wayside is that we get so caught up in how everybody else's life is going, how everybody else looks, that we forget that God can do great things in us. That's right. Can I tell you the most important thing I've learned in my life? That it doesn't matter how you look on the outside, it's all about the inside. And when you have the inside of God on you, that sometimes your outer appearance will be the worst thing in the world and people will still love you. People will still want to be around you. Why? Because they realize that this person is fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalms, he acknowledges and praises God because he realized that no matter who you are or what you are, God created you. Can I give us a confident boost in here? That no matter where we are in life, no matter what people say about us, God still looks at us and say that we're beautiful. He still looks at us and say we are his top prize. He still looks at us and he tells us that no matter how you look, I still got my hands on you. Can I tell you, there's so many people look good out here and the hand of God ain't gonna do it. That's right. There's so many people out here that look like something but they ain't nothing. There's so many people out here that have the fancy house and cars and they're still miserable on the inside because they don't have him on the inside. So they don't realize that they're fearfully and wonderfully made. I was laughing as I was doing this because I thought about all these women nowadays going to get BBLs. Who told you every man want a big butt? That's right. I thought about all these men going out now and they got all kinds of surgeries to make you look better and get your nose. Who told you every woman want a man with a slim nose? And all of us now, we seem like everybody got this transition of when one hairstyle come out, we all got to get it. Who told you that woman wants you to look like that? That man wants you to look like that? I start thinking about that thing. God began to tell me, I made you wonderfully for somebody. There's somebody out there that's going to like you for you. And it's funny because I was in a transition not too long ago, Jonathan. I started missing my braids to the back of my head for a little while, and I started growing my hair out. And it seemed like every day I was growing that hair, my wife was looking at me saying, I wish you would cut it. I just wish you would cut it. I don't know why you think you need that. And she would just keep going and keep going. It got till, I think it was around about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I was still trying to hold on to it. She said, before people come over here, I need you to go cut your hair. I can't do this anymore. So I went upstairs and I started cutting that hair. I started putting the parch out there. And I started doing all that. I came back downstairs. At that time, we already had somebody at the house. But she said, you can't look like that when the rest of the people get here. So I went up there and I started cutting my hair by the time I came down. And she said, damn my husband. Because she realized that no matter what I did to myself, she liked the version of me that's this. She knew that this fits me. And sometimes what we lack of is trying to fit in with everybody else and look like everybody else and not realizing that there's a certain look to us.
That's right.
God didn't always cause you to be like everybody else. Every now and then I want to get some dreads so I can. But that ain't what God called me to do. Every now and then I want to go get my, oh, y'all gonna judge me, I'm a preacher, I know. I want to go get a little earring every now and then, but that ain't what God called me to do. And there's days I go in the closet and I get some of them old baggy, holy jeans. And I think I'm finna wear them to church like the rest of them with the big puff jackets, and God go back and correct me. That ain't how I made you. So sometimes we try to do what we call conforming to the world by our appearance. I know this is simple this morning. We conform to the world and the ways of the world because we want to change how we look to make people comfortable coming into church. But somebody say the church is meant to be like this. It's meant to be like this. So a lot of us, what happens is we fail to realize that God made us like we are, because sometimes in life we can't respect the people that look a fool. Let me talk. I can't respect the preacher that preaches want to preach in this tank top. I get confused, I get lost. I start wondering off. Especially if you got hair on your shoulders and all kinds of stuff going on. I'm more in tune with trying to figure out what's going on with you, because I ain't never seen no. And sometimes what we do, we see all these demonstrations. Now, pastors are good at demonstrations. I clap to them. And we try to bring it into our church. Your church wasn't made like that. That ain't what God called y'all to do. Y'all were beautifully, wonderfully made like y'all are. Stay like that. And don't go demonstrating. Got people with fire going up while they demonstrating and flames, and I ain't gonna do that in this building right here. I know by the time the flame get up, it's gonna come back down and burn something up. But what we're doing just like that, a lot of us are taking our personal life and we're trying to mold ourselves into somebody else. We trying to preach like this preacher. We trying to play like that drummer. We trying to play the keyboard like this person. I tell people all the time, I play by the Holy Ghost anyway, so half of these cars y'all be talking about, I don't know, I just play. But we're all trying to mold ourselves into somebody that we're just not. And being fearfully and wonderfully made means that you stand out. That means there's some uniqueness about you that somebody else don't got.
That's right.
That means that when you get around people, they don't acknowledge you because of how you look when you're with them, but they acknowledge you because you're always different from them. They acknowledge that. I got this little cologne that don't nobody else wear, because I go one specific place I know men ain't gonna go to get cologne. When I put it on, it lingers. It's all in my office. My wife walked by me yesterday. She said, "Oh my God, why are you so strong?" I ain't even put nothing on. I just walked in my room. When you come in my house, everything smells like, what's that? Unstoppables. Be on TV.
Yeah.
But you head up to that little office right there up the stairs and open that door, you get a glass of Sean. Because I know that there's a different smell from my atmosphere. Watch me. I know that when I go in that room to pray, when I go in there, if anything smells other than me, I'm going to get beside myself. I got a signature look, a signature smell. I was getting dressed this morning. I thought about grabbing this outfit. I hadn't actually tried it out. I said, I'm going to wear this to church. Because I ain't going to put no suit on this morning. I got it on. I started looking in the mirror. God said, you ain't got no tie on. That ain't you. I had to go grab a tie. I put it on with the shirt. I said, oh, God, this look crazy. I'll leave this to the rest of them. I went in there, grabbed my clothes. I put them on. And then I looked in the mirror again. God said, now that's you. And God was reminding me right there. I don't have to look like everybody when I get behind this camera for people to receive the word. So many of us, we do these things. We call it, what we call it now? Aesthetics. We change our aesthetics to mold us to be this person we're not. And what happens is you lose yourself along the way. And when you start losing yourself, watch what happens is that beautifully and fearful and wonderfully made thing that was wonderful is now corrupt. Because you decided that you want to go do what everybody else do. You decided to go get you a grill. You decided to go get you a long chain. And get in church and do your thing. You know, you decided to put some shades on the drums and your hat turned backwards because that's what drummers do now for some odd reason. And because of that, you lost your touch. You didn't realize it. You didn't know it, but you done lost your touch. Because that one moment you decided to change something about you, that's one thing you took away from what God already did. Because when you're fearfully and wonderfully made, watch this. A lot of times what happens is we go through an identity crisis in this world. And watch what happens. Once you start going through this identity crisis, you start losing confidence in everything about you. You ever went in your closet and just start going through clothes? I got brand new clothes with tags still on them, and I still won't wear them because I just feel like it won't look good on me. I don't know what possessed me when I was in that store to pick it up and think it was so nice. What they say, so cute. But I went in there this morning. I got one shirt. Every time I think I love how it look. I just know it ain't gonna look good on me. And watch this. You go in there and you start picking up. It's a simple message this morning, but you start picking up them clothes, and you decide to go out in them. People start looking at you different. Yeah. People start looking at you different because they started to learn your character. And watch this, you don't realize it, but your inside should reflect on the outside. So how you dress now done changed and people know something ain't right. I remember one time I wore gym shorts to school as a kid. I'll never forget this thing. Put them little gym shorts on with my little Jordans and stuff. I would go into class. And my best friend, she came up, she said, something wrong with you this morning? I said, why you say that? She said, look at how you dress. I said, what you mean? I just didn't feel like putting on no clothes. She said, something wrong with you. She said, something's wrong with you. And then I realized, I said, okay, I guess. So I went to class and my teacher, he pulled me to the side. He was in the church. He said, Coleman, you all right this morning? I said, now one more person asked me if I'm all right, we're going to have an issue. He pulled me to the side. He asked me that. I said, why you say that? He said, you got gym shorts on. I ain't never seen you with shorts on. I said, okay. I got down mid during the day and the principal walking down the hallway. She stopped me, asked me the same question. I said, now if everybody else can wear gym shorts, why can't I? Why can't I wear my gym shorts at school? God challenged me then. He said, why should you wear them? And why should you wear what everybody else wears? Are you respected because you're wearing those gym shorts now? Or are you just blended in? And I went in my closet the next day. Jonathan, I had some sweatpants. I don't know, this week was in one of my weeks. I felt like I wanted to be home, so I was just throwing on stuff. I went in there and God got me. I went to grab those sweatpants off the hanger. And God said, look at this nice outfit, already ironed. And he challenged me, and he asked me what my excuse was to change. I had no reason. I had no reason to change anything about me. I had no reason. There was nothing about what I was doing that was going to make a difference. Because in school, I was still popping. In church, I was still popping. There wasn't nothing about Sean Trey when he came through. There ain't no man Sean Trey. Through Sean, when he came through, that was different. No. So God challenged me. He said, why are you changing what I already done? If you're going to dress like Steve Urkel, you just going to dress like Steve Urkel. Let me talk to some of us. You don't have to mold yourself to this world.
That's right.
I love me some good Louis Vuitton and some good Gucci. I love all that good stuff. It looks nice. But I just can't put it on because it's just not me. I told my wife, I seen you sweater the other day. It just had all them simple. No, I can't buy that. I like a little plain clothing. Give me something simple. I want you to see me before you see my clothes. Because if you don't like anything, you need to like me before you like them. So here again, we have to understand being fearfully and wonderfully made is simple as our clothes. Sometimes we feel like we got to make dramatic changes to get people's attention, but there should be something on the inside of you that changes people's mind about you, changes people's heart about you. So watch this. Being fearfully and wonderfully made, it calls you to have 4 different things here. It calls you to have gratitude towards God. It calls you to have gratitude. I know you might pick up, I told you I used to be a little fat boy. You might pick up a little weight, have to go buy a little more clothes. But it still allows you to praise and give gratitude to God, because at the end of the day, you realize, watch this, I'm nothing without the Creator. And when He went in the workshop to make me, He put every bit of crafting that He could to make me how He wanted me to be. So why change what He done?
That's right.
Second thing is, we gain identity in self-worth. One thing about this thing is an affirmation. It's really an affirmation. Women say it. Men, we don't say it. But women, they love, y'all love saying it. Fearfully and wonderfully made. But we all should have this thing in our mind where we say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like every day somebody going to challenge you on how you look. They're going to challenge you. I don't care how famous you are. If you were ugly back then to them, you got a bigger crowd to be ugly to now.
That's right.
So you have to affirm yourself and your identity and tell yourself, I am fearfully and wonderfully. One of the most biggest highlights of my day is when I get up and look at myself. I don't take a chance to not go by the mirror. Matter of fact, I got, oh Lord, one in my bathroom, one in my room right beside the bed. Then I come out the room, I go to my office, there's one in the bathroom there. Then I go downstairs, I got to do one more check in the mirror before I go out. It's one of them real big ones. So I got to look at my whole body before I go walk out the door, check one more time. And then I might get out to the car and look at myself through the reflection. And then I get to my job, and before I go anywhere, I go to the bathroom and I make sure I still look like I looked when I left the house, because I know for a fact that, watch this, when I get dressed, when I put on me, somebody say, when I put on me,
When I put on me,
I put on me well. So again, it allows you to see here that when you realize that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, I'm talking about this because we got to realize in church that many of us, we play God when it came down to how He created us. We play Him and we devalue our worth when it comes down to what God did when He created us, when He crafted us. So a lot of us, watch this, let me talk to us. We don't realize that a lot of the reasons we are not blessed is because of so many simple things that we look over. When you start this low self-esteem, when you start all this not caring about yourself, and you looking in the mirror calling yourself ugly and all kinds of stuff, you're downplaying. You want God to bless you and you ain't even grateful for how He made you. That's a lot of our problems. We want God to bless us on our job, and we can't look in the mirror one day and say, I look good. We can't boost ourselves. We don't have no confidence in us. But we want a wife, we want a husband, we want all of that. But we're not confident in how God made us. So what happens is you start downplaying God, and then, God, you're going to bless me. I wouldn't bless you. Because you're not worthy enough. Because if you were, you would be considering yourself first. My wife, she has this thing, she tells a lot of young women, and I love it. She tells them you got to love yourself, and you got to care about yourself. If you don't love and care about yourself, you can't love and care about a man. And it's true. When we have a lack of self-love, we get in relationships, we can't trust the people. Watch this. Why? Because we have too many trust issues with how we look, Too many trust issues with the inside of us. And some of us got some deep secrets that we holding on to. We still can't trust ourselves with that. So watch this. Being fearfully and wonderfully made, it allows you to see that your identity and your self-worth, it matters. Now watch this. I love this one. When God created you, the third point is, he created a wonder. It was a wonder. He had to do some different things to make you. I'm talking about some different things. And even for a doctor to go in and change features on people, what God did will still always stand out. I watched people go get these lip fillers and Botox. Thought it was going to make them look different. You still look the same, baby. You just got some fat lips. Yeah, you just look like you got stung by a bee in the lips. You still look the same. People go want to get their jawline. Let me tell you something. One thing about it, you can change every feature on you, but your eyes will always speak for you. We walk around with these masks on, I already knew. I'll tell my wife, y'all forgive me. I'll tell my wife, ooh, I know she is. But I was telling on her. Looking at me, don't be looking at me. All because we think we change these little simple features, it's going to change us. No. Because you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Let me tell you one thing about God. He always going to bring the true you out. I don't care how many cosmetics you do. People will always see you. You know how you go to your great auntie, your grandma's house, and they always still talking about, oh, you still look like that same little cat. Because God put them features in you, and he made you like that, and you can't change it. I don't care how old you get. I hate when people, oh, I can't recognize you. Oh, you lying. You recognize me. You just didn't want to tell me I look worse than I used to. Stop lying. Somebody said stop lying to me. So God, watch this. He made you as a wonder, as a awe. When people see you, there should be a wonderful thing. They see something different about you every time. And that goes, let me tell y'all something. When God made you, it don't just go for physical appearance. It goes for your attitude. It goes for everything about you. When I see this sister, she gives me the most pleasant feeling because she's always so silent, so sweet, so nice, and she's silly, so she laughs a little bit here and there, but she never changes that attitude. When I see him, he comes in with the same attitude. Hey, and it fits him because he's humble. You can't be humble and have a hot-shot attitude. So what God does is, he gives us an attitude when we're wonderfully made. Watch this. Our attitude fits our appearance. Our appearance fits our attitude. And watch this. How you carry yourself tells a lot of people your attitude. Excuse me, but if you walk out the house looking like a hoe and don't expect people to think you a hoe, you got an issue. I'm not going to respect you telling me about God in your skirt up here and your chest all out and you you're preaching to. Somebody say, who you preaching to?
Who you preaching to?
Man, we can't have pants that's showing all our ruins and expect people to be listening to us preaching. All they see is our... It's a look. It's a way. And I don't care what nobody say. There's a difference between the world and the church. Right. So what happens is when you decide to be more like the world and you're trying to put it with God, there goes fearfully and wonderfully made out the window. You're a corrupt mess. The Bible says, be in this world, but not of this world. My last thing is, when you're fearfully and wonderfully made, I don't care what people say, you have confidence. You assure yourself every day. No matter what people say, you have that confidence. Let me tell y'all something about me. I don't care what nobody say. My wife will tell me a million times, this outfit I'm putting on don't look good. I don't care what she say. I know that outfit gonna look good to somebody because it look good to me. It's going to attract somebody that God made just like me, and they're going to like it. So she'll tell me, I don't know why you putting that on. I got this cheetah print shirt. This shirt, y'all, it's got a cheetah print collar. She can't stand that shirt. But last week, I put it on with a blue suit with the church with me, a nice little blue tie. Ooh, the people say, oh, you look so nice, you're so sharp, so clean. And just like that, that was the characteristics of me. That was that set aside different thing that everybody can't put no cheetah, especially men, we can't put no cheetah print on and get people's attention. They start thinking you're little. But my masculinity stood out. Because guess what? No matter what you say, I'm going to wear my clothes like I wear them. That don't mean nothing. I'm still fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's me. That's my characteristics. So here overall, it allows us to see that, watch this. This is a powerful affirmation to let us know that we're beautiful, we're valuable, and we're significant when it comes down to God's eye. So when we come this year, when we're doing anything, embrace and celebrate your unique qualities. Because watch this. The reason a lot of people start falling off in church is because they have not embraced how God is molding them and who God has made them to be. They're too busy trying to figure it out. I was dating a girl once and it used to tick me off. She used to say to herself every week, I don't look like a first lady. I don't dress like a first lady. I don't act like a first lady. Who? What they say on Coming to America, who told you that? Who told you that there was a look for who you were?
Come on.
Who told you that there was an attitude for who you are? There's quiet first ladies. And there's some that's just loud and wild. And then there's some they want to preach, some don't want to preach. Some of them they motivate through their own way. Does that discount them as a first lady? No. There's some drummers that's going to get over there and do about 12 tricks, throw the sticks in the air. They might get up and walk off and come back and play. Does that discount them from being a drummer? And then there's some of them that might stay in the pocket. Does that discount them? They're still a drummer. There's some keyboard players. Get on the keyboard, you'll hear their fingers go about 20 different things at one time, and you think they got about 16. Some of us, we just gonna play our cards and keep it moving. Does that make us not a keyboard? No. You got some preachers that get up there from the beginning of their message. Then there's some of us that's going to get up and talk and actually ace it out. Does that make them not a preacher? No. Nobody is made to be alike. God didn't make us that. I don't care how much they tell you, you look like your mama. Baby, there is something different about you and your mama.
That's right.
I don't care how much they say you look like your daddy. There's something different between you and your. People tell me all the time, you look like your daddy. I do. But one thing different about me and him. You're a little darker, I'm way lighter. Discount neither one of our values. My daddy a preacher. Definitely not. But does that discredit him from being my daddy, me from being me? No. And that's where it comes. You have to realize who you are. This morning it's about realizing how to love who God made you be. When God created you, you were there and you were at that set time for a reason. So what? I'm lighter than everybody in my family. One thing about it, I stand out because that's what God wanted me to do. When you take a picture, you see the light-skinned boy, you automatically know that goes show him. He was there. And that's fine. There was times in my life I started feeling different. Let me talk to us, because in this year, that's the problem. We look at social media, and we start feeling different about ourselves because of what the social media has put out into the atmosphere. I started looking at myself. There were times I had that Michael Jackson feeling. Let me go ahead and try to color my skin or something. What can I do to make me look like everybody else? I used to get called a little white boy. I ain't nowhere near. But hey, that's what they said. And I start feeling some type of way, my sister, because everybody had something to say about me. I always walked around with my shirt tucked in. I've been dressing like this since God knows when. First time my daddy told me I could wear a bow tie to school, I wore a bow tie every day after. I always dressed up. There was not a day in my life. This is my, believe it or not, when I got married, I told, it was the funniest thing to my wife. She got married, I ain't have no tennis shoes. I ain't have but maybe one or two pair, and them two pairs show what you wear nowadays. I ain't have but one pair of jeans. Everything else was slacks, khakis, and that's it. Now I do like my little shorts come up about right here from house. I had a bunch of them, but there was not I ain't have no t-shirts.